Hi everyone, welcome back to Lawless 2022, and it's a bit of an orgasm because I'm currently sitting here with Simon Davies, probably the closest I'll ever get to being a published artist. Hi Simon, how are you finding the weekend so
Yeah, it's
far?
good. It's good. It's nice to be back after, I suppose, like everybody. It's been, I don't know, 3 years or whatever since anybody's done this. So yeah, it's really good to be back. And this convention's always a nice one. And I think because Lawless is so focused on 2000, everybody here loves the title. So it's always going to be good.
Has this been your first convention in the past 3 years?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I've lost all track of time, but yeah, I think this might have been the last one I did before lockdown. So I sort of kind of not doing as many as I usually do, and so just picking the ones I really want to do. So this one is.
Well, during the pandemic, how have you been keeping yourself creative?
Well, it's the pandemic's been all right. I have sort of like two strands to my work: a portrait painter and a comic artist. And the portraits, that took a little bit of a lull because you couldn't meet up with people to do their portraits or whatever. So, but I was doing the second book of Thistlebone during that time. So I was pretty busy. So I think the sort of circulation of 2000 increased during the lockdown, more people reading it and stuff like that. So I think everybody wanted content and stuff to do while lockdown was happening. So reading comics seemed like a good thing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, so you said you worked on book 2 of Thistlebone?
Yeah.
It's like a British folk horror series?
Yeah, it's like a folk horror story that myself and Tom Eglinton first started doing about 2 years ago, and the first book came out, and that was quite well received. So we did a second one, and the collection of that has just come out, and yeah, it's good. It's really good fun, and it's sort of I'm really interested in sort of like folk horror genre, so it's the perfect thing.
I was going to say, because you've done Thistlebone, you've also done a bit on Slania, but I've also noticed you got this beautiful piece here from it's an old, is it 1971? 71, Blood and Satan's Claw.
Yeah, it's a favourite of mine.
Absolutely fantastic. So would you be a fan of the Wicker Man?
Yeah, love the Wicker Man. Yeah, they're really great. And yeah, I've always liked that sort of genre of filmmaking. So to do our own folk horror story has been brilliant.
I must say, if there's one possible suggestion, you should do a Christopher Lee one from the Wicker Man.
Oh yeah, that would
be a beautiful
good.
piece.
That would be good. I mean, this one's an officially licensed by the film company, so I mean, getting hold of a license for the Wicker Man probably is a bit more complicated, but yeah, no, I should do. Yeah, it'd be quite fun to do.
You also mentioned about being doing portraits. Is it through your Royal Commission?
I'm a member of the Royal Society of Portrait Painters, so it's I'd say about 50 members of that, and the sort of it's a good. I've sort of been painting portraits and straight painting for about 20 years, and so that's where sort of most of my commissioned portraits come from. I haven't painted the Queen or anything like that, but she's the patron of this society, so it's pretty good. It's it's pretty good fun. The other painters in it are really fantastic, so it's nice to be part of that.
That's excellent. So what have you got for on sale today this weekend? I know you got Blood and Satan's Claw.
I've got Blood and Satan's Claw, and there's some original pages from Thistlebone, which for sale. So so I'm quite sort of anachronistic with 2000 AD artists, so it's all sort of still produced by hand painted, and I deliver the pages to the editor every month in Oxford, and which is sort of very unusual.
None of this scanning and emailing.
No. So I kind of like I try and avoid technology like that if I possibly can. And B, it's nice when you've done a body of work. It's nice to go to the nerve centre, drop work off, and then go to the pub. So it's just a nice way of marking you've done some work. So, because otherwise I'd just be scanning it, emailing it, and then I'll just start the next one then. So so it's a nice way of just marking it. And they're a good bunch at 2000 AD. So
Beautiful artwork. Absolutely.
yeah, so I'm just this is all artwork from the second book of Kisselbone. So just a sort of. It's just nice to be back at a con and being able to sell it, and this is the best sort of one because everybody knows what it is, and
Well, after Thistlebone 2, is there any future upcoming work?
I kind of sort of I don't know whether it's an intended decision, but I generally speaking sort of work about a year on a comic story, in this case Thistlebone, and then have a year or so off, and then I paint and stuff like that, and have exhibitions and construct and that sort of thing, and then and then the following year I sort of try and do some more comics. So Tom and I, the writer of Thistlebone, we're sort of vaguely kicking around an idea for book 3. So hopefully by sort of tail end of the year we'll get something together for that. So yeah, it's good.
Do you have an online presence, or where can people find your work online?
I have Instagram page. I don't have a website, but I have an Instagram sort of page, Simon_Davies_painter, and all the sort of my painting and comic stuff's on there. So
That's brilliant.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. That's brilliant, Simon. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.